Hey folks, so bottom line, Spectrum Internet sucks. Don't use them. Cancel your account if you have one. Um, I had such a terrible time on the phone with them this morning. So as some of you probably already know, Time Warner has merged with or been acquired by Spectrum. I'm not sure exactly what has happened, but the point is Time Warner Cable is now called Spectrum. And this happened earlier this year. So I noticed, and looking at my statements and my charges over the past few months, I've been with Time Warner for years and years and years. The last promo rate with them ended 2 years ago. We were paying 43 a month for 50 megabits of internet speed, and that promo ended. Our rate went up to 50 a month, 50 and some change, and that's been the rate we've been paying ever since. Well, up until March of this year, when Time Warner became Spectrum, and suddenly they started charging me 60 a month. So I called them this morning because I wanted to find out what's going on, why the sudden increase. And the first guy I talked to was Josh. He wasn't particularly helpful, but he wasn't particularly rude either. The next person I talked with was Erica, who basically said, "Yeah, you were on a promo rate and it canceled." What? Excuse me? I didn't realize I was on a promo rate because well, I hadn't been on one for the past 2 years with Time Warner. The 50 a month was their normal rate for that speed, or at least the rate that we had negotiated, because I know they charge different people different things in different areas. But anyways, Erica insisted that, oh yeah, you were on a promo rate and the promo rate ended, so now you're paying 60 a month and there's nothing we can do about it. And she said, oh, and by the way, the 60 a month itself is also a promo rate. Oh, really? Uh, when does that promo rate end? Well, it ends next March, March 2018. Your rate will jump up to 70 a month. Oh, great. Okay, so let me get this straight. Been gladly paying 50 a month for the same speed and been happy with the service for the past 2 years. I haven't made any changes on my end. Suddenly, my price is going to jump up to 70 a month by 2018. Am I understanding this correctly? She's like, yes. So I say, can I talk with the supervisor, please? She says, the supervisor will tell you the same thing. I said, well, thanks. I'd like to hear it from her. So after being put on hold for a solid 15 minutes, I finally talked with Sarah. And Sarah was the worst out of all three of these folks. I mean, I guess she was trying, but I it's I can't remember a time prior when I've been speaking with customer service and they've been more condescending or rude. Basically, she insisted that the 50 a month from Time Warner was a promo rate that had ended. The 60 a month I'm paying now is also a promo rate that will end next year. And she said that the 70 a month will be the top off for their rate. So it can't go any higher than that, in theory, if I believe them. But she kept insisting that they were somehow doing me a favor, that they were giving me this was actually a discount. Even the 70 a month rate was a discount off of their normal rate. And I'm just thinking and explaining to them, asking them to try to see it from my point of view, where I've been paying for this service and been happy with it for months and months, and suddenly now the rate is jumping up by $20 a month. I haven't changed anything on my end. I'm not getting more speed or anything or better service. There's just a different name on my bill. She could not see it from my point of view. She kept insisting that this was an industry standard practice, that all the companies do this. They'll, as she explained it, they'll use a promo code to get new customers in and build loyalty with them, and then they'll raise the rate after the promo code expires. So at least she wasn't trying to lie to me. She was completely honest with what they were doing. But instead of being apologetic, I guess I would have felt better if she had said, well, I'm sorry, I certainly see it from your point of view, how suddenly your charge goes up. This certainly doesn't look like a discount from your point of view. I understand that. I wish there was something we could do about it, but corporate's insisting that this is what we do. But no, she was defending her company with vigor, talking about how they were doing me a favor, and I shouldn't really be upset about this because this is an industry standard practice, and how the company has every right to charge this much for their internet service. Absolutely no empathy for my position. Absolutely no apologies whatsoever. Just very, very rude and off-putting behavior from Sarah. So I'm kind of in a pickle because the only other option in this area to go with is CenturyLink, which is a slower speed. And I don't really want to go through the hassle of switching, but at the same time, I hate to think of paying Spectrum an additional $20 a month for nothing. But apparently, that's what they're forcing everyone to do. So, the other option they had given me, was you can switch from your grandfathered Time Warner plan to a Spectrum plan. We'll double your speed to 100 megabits per second. I don't need 100 megabits per second. I didn't need 50 megabits per second. But they would double my speed and still charge me $60 a month, which is $10 more than I was paying on Time Warner. Oh, and by the way, that would be a promo rate too. So in June of next year, the rate would go up to $70 a month. So they'd be giving me 2 free months at the lower rate of $60 a month, even though it's $10 more per month than I was paying under Time Warner. So I don't know what to say about this other than Spectrum sucks. Steer clear of them. I'm still trying to research the options, figure out if there's somebody else I can go with. Maybe I can get a MiFi device from a cell phone company or something for cheaper than $60 a month. But I just hate the idea of continuing to give money to these folks when they treat their customers this way. They offered me no other options whatsoever. So if you were on Time Warner and you're now on Spectrum, I just would advise you to check your statements very carefully. They didn't give me any warning before this rate hike occurred, and if I hadn't called, I wouldn't have known about this rate hike that apparently is going to occur in March next year too. So check your statements carefully. Call and complain like I did. I mean, maybe if enough of us call and are upset with them, they will change the practice. I mean, I told them that I was going to look for alternatives so I could cancel because I didn't want to stay with a company that was continuing to hike rates on me. And they didn't seem to understand that at all. So it's just a sad situation when there's a company out there that has a monopoly. It's the same problem with the medical system. It's like there's no competition, so the prices just go through the roof, and the customer service goes down the drain. So that was my story. I usually don't post rants like this. I can't remember the last time I actually have, but I just felt pretty strongly about this. So I'm going to be posting this to YouTube too. Please share your story if you call them and have a better experience. I'd love to hear about that. But the experience I had this morning was just terrible. Thanks for your time.